Broadcasting live from his parents' basement. This is Hurry Up Offense.
With 2 seconds. Here he goes for the win. No, the touchdown. Gilbert for the win.
Oh, baby. What's up, guys? Welcome to episode 3 of Hurry Up Offense. I'm Sean Pelletier. Sorry for not being here last week. I know I caused a mass panic. Everyone was sitting by their computers, just waiting to see my pretty face in my beautiful basement down here. You can thank Apple products for that. My Mac just decided to poop out, so I jumped Mac's ship. I'm never buying another Mac product again. You guys suck. I heard your new phone's bend in your pocket. The hell? Okay, this isn't gonna bend. This is my new Surface Pro. It's pretty awesome. It's what they use in the NFL. It's what the players and coaches use. So I'm basically in the NFL now. Kudos to me. I finally made it. So let's just get this show started. I don't want to make any more terrible jokes. I just want to get started with the MLB playoffs. You know how I feel about the MLB. It's the best. 162 games. 160. That's how long their season is. That's incredible. I just want to give them all a pat on the back for being interested for that long. I know people like the Cubs and teams like that aren't interested all the time because they're terrible. But every other team, this has been a good year in baseball. There was no 100-game winner and there was no 100-game loser. I think maybe we could finally say there's parity in baseball. I don't know how long it'll last. We noticed that in the NBA, in the NFL, there's parity. There's new teams that are on top each year. And that hasn't always been the case in baseball because you can just buy a team, New York Yankees. How you doing this year? So anyway, the Yankees are sitting at home because they suck and they're the worst team in the league. But we have some teams in the playoffs. And the playoffs start tomorrow. Playoffs? Yeah, playoffs. So let's start with the American League Wild Card Play-In game, which I think is a great... I just want to step back. I think the AL Wild Card Play-In game, them adding another team, helps so much. Because there was only 6 teams from each division and before, or conference, and that's not that much. So even though it's just one team, I think they did the right thing by adding that game in there. So in the AL, it's Oakland and Kansas City, 2 teams you wouldn't expect to be here, but for completely different reasons. Kansas City hasn't been in the playoffs since Nam, and it actually might be since Nam, so that was a joke, but it might actually be factually correct. So no one expected them to make the playoffs just because they're historically terrible. Always. They're bad. But not this year. They're pretty good. Oakland was the best team in baseball for 2/3 of the year, and then just sucked. They were just terrible the last third of the year. So they're kind of both in this situation, but going in different directions. Oakland has just been terrible, but it's a one-game playoff, so anything can happen. Kansas City is going to send James Big Game Shields to the hill, and this is exactly what they thought they were getting when they traded their top prospect, Will Myers, for him a couple years ago. A lot of people gave them a lot of crap for trading a player of Will Myers' potential away for James Shields. He's a little older, but this is what they got him for. To be pitching in a big game for Kansas City. No one really knew if it was going to actually happen, but it's happening. And James Shields has been great all year. And he's going to be facing John, I lost my hairline 20 years ago, Lester. Not as cool of a nickname, but he's just ugly. He's the worst looking guy ever. They're both coming into this game not on the highest note. It's not terrible by any means. In James Shields' last 3 games, he's averaged 6.1 innings per game and 3 earned runs. So that's a quality start, but no one really considers 6 innings and 3 runs quality, because I think that's a 4.5 ERA. And since when is a 4.5 ERA quality? I don't know, that's a little fuzzy, but his nickname is James Big Game Shields, so this is the kind of guy that you want going in this position. And versus Oakland this year, he's pitched to a 3.21 ERA, going 1-0 in 2 starts, so that's a decent clip to have against Oakland. Lester, on the other hand, coming into his last 3 games, he's averaged 6.2 innings per contest. He's given up 3 runs, 1 run, and no runs. So he's fared a little bit better than James Shields coming in. And versus Kansas City this year, he's got a 2.61 ERA, and he's 3-0 in all 3 starts. So it's exactly what I love seeing. I'm a pitcher's guy. I love seeing pitching and defense. I know that's why a lot of people hate baseball, because there's not very many runs. It's a long game. But this is a game I'm drooling over. And at the end of the day, I think these 2 pitchers are going to pitch to a no decision, and it's going to come down to bullpen. And who's got the best bullpen in all of baseball? You got to go with Kansas City Royals. I'm going to pick the Royals in this game to move on. And I know that town's going to go crazy. I'm going to go crazy because I hate Oakland. Not really sure why I hate Oakland. I just don't. I just don't like them. And I think it's because when the Orioles made the playoffs in 2002, they made the playoffs for the first time in like a bunch of years. And they kind of like rained on the Orioles parade. I wanted everyone to talk about the Orioles, but they spoiled it. So I'm being jealous of them. But I got Kansas City in that one. The NL wild card, it's San Francisco and Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh's playing at home. They're kind of like Kansas City to where, I mean, it's a smaller market type team in baseball. They don't have a big payroll, but they have a star, McCutchen. They have one of the best stories in baseball in Josh Harrison. He's been great for them all year long. Then you have San Francisco, who they're always here. They're always in the playoffs. So do you go with a team that you trust in the playoffs every year? Do you go to the hotter team right now? They're sending out, San Francisco's setting out Madison Bumgarner, and Volquez will go for Pittsburgh. Volquez has been really, really good in his last 3 games. His last 3, he's pitched, he's only given up 1 earned run total in all 3 games. That's good, in case you all didn't know. I didn't know if you guys like baseball or not, but anyway, that's good. Mad Bum's been pretty good recently. Just for the sake of me wanting Pittsburgh to win, I'm going to go Pittsburgh. They have the hotter pitcher right now. They're going to be at home, so I'm going with the home team in both these games because I'm a homer, I guess. I wouldn't be surprised if San Francisco won just because they've been here before. It's not, the stage isn't too big for them. Pittsburgh, the stage might be too big for them, but I'm just going to go with Volquez and Pittsburgh to win and move on. So that's your NL wildcard. Now we go to the ALDS with my Baltimore Orioles. That's right, the Orioles, not the Yankees. Orioles are the second best. They have the second best record in the AL behind the Angels, and they'll be taking on Detroit. Detroit's been the weirdest team in the league this year. They have 3 batters hitting over, I think it's over like 315. You have Victor Martinez, J.D. Martinez, who came out of nowhere. He's another great story. The Astros dropped him. The Astros straight up released him, and he's playing for Detroit, hitting over 300. He solidified their third base spot, and he's just been great for him. Oh, and then you have Miguel Cabrera. Yeah. Not to mention, they have the best pitching staff ever. Not ever, but it's pretty good. Baltimore's been 1-5 versus Detroit this season, but that was all within the first couple months of the season, so I don't really hold too closely what teams do in the beginning of the season versus other teams, because clearly it's not good. That's not in Baltimore's favor. That doesn't bode well for Baltimore. The Orioles pitchers, the starting pitchers, have been really well pitched really well recently. You have Chris Tillman's going to be your ace. He's pitching the first game. We don't know who's going with game 2. Chen has been the better pitcher all season, but Miggy has pitched really well as of late, so I could see him going. Buck's just going to go with matchups there. You guys are all going to hate me for this, and I'm going to hate myself for it, but give me Detroit in 4. I just think that the track record of these pitchers, David Price, Verlander, Scherzer, it's too much. And then you have 3 guys hitting 300. I don't know how the Orioles win this series. I think Detroit, I don't care how Detroit's pitchers have done all year long. I think they're going to find a way to turn it around in the playoffs. This is scary, but I got Detroit in 4 games. I'm just giving Baltimore a game because I assume they're going to win one at home. Hopefully the one that I go to. Detroit in 4. I'm sorry. I'm really sorry. All right, then we're going to go to Kansas City at the Angels. Angels have the best record in baseball. They have arguably one of the best players in baseball, in Mike Trout. And Kansas City, I just think that they're going to be so pumped up winning their wild card game, and I don't know how much more they're going to go. I got LA in 5 in this one. I think Big Game Shields will win 1. It does suck that LA lost their best pitcher in Garrett Richards. They still have Weaver, who's not pitched that well this season, but in the playoffs, I just trust veteran pitching, and that's what LA has with Weaver. and they have Poole. They have the name guys, and I'm sorry, but I'm going with LA in this one. I'm so sorry. I don't know why I'm apologizing so much. Oh my God. Then we're gonna go over the NLDS, where we'll start with St. Louis and the Dodgers. Now the Dodgers send Kershaw to the mound, and he'll probably pitch twice. He could probably pitch twice in this series. He's the best pitcher in all of baseball. He won the EAR title. He won the pitching title. Won 21 games. I think lost 3. But if you're gonna send a guy against Kershaw, it's pretty damn good to be able to send Adam Wainwright, who's having an underrated great season. He's 20-9, a 2.38 ERA. In his last 5 games, he's won all 5 of them. He's been dominant, and no one's really talking about him because St. Louis, it's a Midwest team. They're kind of boring. The only talk they've really been getting lately is their division race because Pittsburgh was trying to take them over in the NL Central, but ended up not doing it. St. Louis never gets talked about. I do think that the Dodgers are going to be too much for St. Louis, but I think it's going to be a tight series. I think LA ends up winning it in 5. I think we're going to see Wainwright versus Kershaw twice in this series, so I'm pretty excited for that. And then we're going to go with Pittsburgh at Washington. So I already lost the chance of having a Beltway World Series, which would have been awesome. Or still can be awesome. I don't know why I'm acting like my picks are like exactly what's going to happen. After all, I wrote Kansas City off 2 weeks ago, but look at me, I'm the best. Jordan Zimmerman ended the season with a no-hitter on a football Sunday. That's why I didn't get that much hype, because everyone's busy watching football. But that was awesome. It was awesome to watch. If you didn't see that, the catch in left field by that rookie outfielder to end the game and the no-hitter was incredible. Washington is arguably the hottest team in baseball. They too, like Detroit, have a lights-out starting pitching staff. Fister has been such a great addition for them. And I'm pretty sure Washington didn't give up much for Fister. I think it was... Didn't they trade Lombardozzi for him, who ends up being in the Orioles minor league system? Either way, Fister's been great for him, not to mention Zimmerman, Strasburg, Gio Gonzalez, those guys. Give me Washington in 3. I think it's going to be a clean sweep. Pittsburgh, good story, but I think Washington's too much of the hottest team in baseball right now. Then we're going to go to the American League Championship Series, where it's going to be Detroit versus LA, the Angels. In this one, you got to go with pitching in the playoffs. And like I said before, Detroit has one of the best pitching staffs in baseball. They have 3 potential aces on their staff, which is incredible. I'm not going to predict the games in this one. I'll do that next week or the week after when these series are available. But give me Detroit over LA in that series. In the NLCS, it's going to be the Nationals versus the Dodgers, which I'm excited about. In this one, I'm also going to go with pitching. Now you have Kershaw. You are going to have Kershaw twice, but from top to bottom, the Nationals' starting pitching staff is just better, and I think that they're pitching better right now. They're playing better. I'm going to go with Washington. So that sets up my World Series as the Detroit Tigers versus the Washington Nationals. Give me Washington in 6 because I don't know, they're the hottest team in baseball. That's going to be the World Series, and we'll see. So that was my baseball thing. I know I'm going to get a bunch of crap for sending the Orioles home in the first round and possibly saying they might get swept, but I'm sorry. That's just what I think. And it's the last time I ever apologize to you guys. So let's head to the NFL winners and losers. I'm not going to do 3 winners and 3 losers this week just because I just talked about baseball for so long. I'm just going to do 1 loser and 1 winner. The biggest loser from this NFL week has to be E.J. Manuel. Jesus God, man, you're terrible. First round pick, not this year, last year, and he's already benched. And you know who he got benched for? Kyle Orton. Kyle Orton got benched for Tim Tebow a couple years ago. Which, if you like math, for all you math nerds over there, that means that Tebow's better than E.J. Manuel. You heard it here first. E.J. Manuel, you're done. I went to a game against Florida State in College Park to see the Terps play them. Terps got their ass whooped, but that doesn't matter. I saw E.J. Manuel play. So unimpressed with him. It's bad enough that your arm isn't accurate whatsoever, but the fact that you can't even make any quick decisions or any decisions, you can't go through a progression. He was terrible, and I was so confused as to why the Bills drafted him in the first round. He's just not a good quarterback, and you're the biggest loser because we'll see if you ever get a legit shot in the NFL again. We'll see. Biggest winner of the week has to be the Baltimore Ravens, Steve Smith Sr. Don't forget the senior, guys. I don't know why he put it on there, but he did. and he ended up whooping ass. He played his old team who just dropped him. He gave them 10, I don't know if it's 10 plus years or 10 years of his career. He was nothing but spectacular to watch. He's one of my favorite receivers to watch play just because the way he plays it's kind of like Anquan Bolden, but more mouthy. He'll go over the middle. He'll make tough catches. He's the guy that's on your team that if you know there's going to be a scrum on the field, he's probably more than likely involved in that one. He ended up going up and kicking his old team's ass. He had over 100 yards, 2 touchdowns, after the game saying that he schooled them like schoolyard kids, which I don't know if you really should have done that. I mean, I get that it was sour, him leaving and all that, but you went out and let your play do the talking, and you did, and it was a phenomenal day. And you were on my fantasy team, so thank you, Steve Smith. I don't know why I'm pointing up there. Are you God now? I don't know. We'll find out. But I'm going to go with Steve Smith as my biggest winner of the NFL week. Keep doing your thing for me, man. I'll appreciate that. So I think this is a short episode. I don't know how long I've been talking right now. But I'm pretty much done. So I thank you guys for watching. All 5 of you that did. I appreciate it. Rookie over my first beer, but thank you all so much. Tweet me if you want me to add a segment on or call in or anything. I don't know how I'm going to do call-ins, but we'll figure it out. But thank you all for watching. Have a phenomenal week. Go Orioles!
To the sun.